Good evening. I'm Juju Chang at ABC News headquarters here in New York. We're interrupting your regular programming with some breaking news. Israel has initiated a retaliatory strike against Iran, according to a senior U.S. official. This comes just 5 days after Tehran launched a direct military assault on Israel, firing more than 300 drones and missiles. Most were intercepted by Israel with the help of allies, including the U.S. Since that unprecedented weekend attack, Israel has vowed to retaliate. We turn now to ABC's Matt Gutman, who is in Israel with the latest reporting. Matt, what are you hearing?
Juju, a senior U.S. official telling us that Israeli missiles have hit at least one site inside Iran. No reports yet on casualties or what specifically this site was. As you mentioned, Israel has been telegraphing that it will respond. Officials telling me at the time and place of their choosing, they did not specify what that response would be like. We didn't know when it would come. And of course, this is in response to that massive missile salvo from last Saturday, the largest ballistic missile salvo in history. And of course, Iran has said that if Israel chooses to respond, their Iranian response would be severe and immediate. Juju.
Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he has taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he has proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Call Holo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the elder bishops. Shalom unto you beautiful men, and Tuwada for your diligency throughout all these years. You're definitely worthy of the title. Shalom as well out to the 144,000 men tonight that are standing upon their watch, watching, considering the times that we are in, and being diligent in the spirit. Shalom unto you, brothers. Keep pushing, keep watching. We are at the latter end of this nightmare. Shalom to the innumerable one-third that consists of men, women, and children that have been blessed with the mark of the Dua, which is exemption from the judgment to come, and who have been ordained to believe on the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. I am the brother Yazar Allah from the GMS Dallas Cap, coming back at you with another quick hit lesson here, really quick, through the Spirit. I don't know what the name of this lesson will be, but Abaratazah, by the end of it, the Spirit will give me a title. Now, you can see here, this is breaking news that's going on, and actually what's been going on. All right, as we know, last week, there has been attacks going on in the Middle East, all right, chiefly between Iran and Israel, where Iran basically attacked Israel. They shot drones and missiles over in that area, all right? And the world has pretty much been in anticipation, waiting to see what's going to happen next, all right, and to see what the next move is. And we know that President Biden has addressed Netanyahu last Sunday, telling him that America will not assist if Israel retaliates against Iran, all right? As a matter of fact, let's grab that.
U.S. President Joe Biden and other leaders of the G7 nations condemned Iran's attack on Israel on Sunday, saying it risked provoking an uncontrollable regional escalation. A White House official said Biden warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the U.S. will not take part in a counteroffensive against Iran if Israel decides to retaliate after Iran launched an overnight barrage of missiles and drones on Israeli territory. Meanwhile,
Right, so we see U.S. has decided to stand down, all right, in this conflict between Iran and Israel, all right, because Biden knows that, as he said, this will be uncontrollable consequences, because Biden knows that this will be the beginning and will bring about World War III, all right, and as Romans 9:19 says, who has resisted his will? This is the will of the Lord, all right? America will get involved and will go along with this war, all right, along with the other nations, all right, and this will bring about World War III. So ultimately, Jeremiah 50 is right, okay? Israel will go about in this action and this back and forth in these wars. It will draw out all of the nations, all right, into World War III, all right? All of the alliances are going to arm themselves up, and we see that happening now, and World War III will ensue, all right, including America. As a matter of fact, let me grab this, Joel 2:20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. What northern army? Northern American army. There will be a draft. And I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things. Right. This is talking about America. All right. When you read Daniel 7, the 7th chapter, all right, and it talks about that little horn that came out of that fourth beast. That is America. That little horn speaking great things. America, the proud. Okay, so it's letting it be known here that a land barren and desolate is talking about Saudi Arabia. All right. And that EC is talking about the river Euphrates, and the utmost sea, meaning the Red Sea, all right, which is going to be the area of the eastern shores of Saudi Arabia, between Saudi Arabia and Yemen. Okay, so, and the scriptures is also known as Yahweh Shaphat, all right, or the Lord's decision, the valley of decision. Okay, and we know that the scriptures talk about in Revelations that the Lord dried up the river Euphrates for this purpose. All right, when you read that, it talks about, and it says, so that, roughly paraphrasing, the kings of the east can make their way over. So the Lord dried up the river Euphrates. All right. So the military vehicles can make their way over to that region. So World War III can ensue. And this is what's happening now. OK, the men of the Lord have been preaching this, and preaching this, starting with our head apostles of GMS for over 30 years. All right. And we are in that latter end time. We've come into their labors. All right. And we're preaching the same song. OK, so this is the end. All right. There's been a lot of talk about Ezekiel 38. All right. Because we know when you go into Ezekiel 38, it talks about, as a matter of fact, I can grab it here. You got a lot of different platforms out here that are speaking, and they're talking. And we can just tell through the Spirit that these people have been listening to the men of the Lord. All right. Some things are evident, but most things are just through the Spirit. You have to have the Spirit upon you to be able to decipher, all right, what's happening. All right, this is Ezekiel 30. I'll just start from the top, and it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog. Gog is Russia, the land of Magog. Magog meaning basically the land of Russia. And the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. All right, when you go in that word chief, that's Rus, which means Rus, like Belarus. All right, Meshach and Tubal, those are all talking about Russia. Okay, and it says, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, for I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forward. What that's talking about, that was a great prophecy that took place when Putin decided to go into Ukraine, okay, and basically reclaim his land, all right, which was basically former USSR territory. All right. And the reason why all this is happening is because, or should I say initiated, is because America promised that we wouldn't move any more eastward. All right. Well, we would basically be taking old, or should I say former USSS vassal states under the NATO hegemony and protection. So as we know that NATO and Ukraine have been toying with each other for the past couple of years. All right. And now I want to say over a week or so ago, I did a lesson where NATO is basically saying they're going to make it happen, right, to bring Ukraine under the NATO hegemony. All right. And so with the Lord putting hooks in thy jaws, what does that mean? That means he's turning Russia, Putin, back into that old ancient USSR war mindset where he's gathering the nations, all right, together for this great war of Armageddon. Okay, and it says, And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth on all thine armies, horse and horsemen, all clothed in all sorts of armor, and even great company, and bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. What's today modern day sword? All right, military missiles, okay, tanks, okay, F-14 Raptors, and all manner of killing instruments. And it says Persia, all right, which we know Persia today is what? Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, and all of them with shields and helmets. Gomer and his bands in the house of Tugama, all right, Turkey, all right, in the north quarters, and all of his bands and many people with him. And here's the point, and be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and thou be a guard unto them. Right. So what is that saying? Because we know Russia is going to spearhead this thing. There was a video that I saw maybe a year or so ago, and I've been trying to find it, Abaratazai do, where Putin visited Iran, and what he did, he sat down, with some of the officials there, And they had a meeting. And then after his meeting, Putin basically got up from the meeting and he took off his coat and he hung it over the Iranian flag. All right, that was in the office. And that was symbolic to basically Putin was saying that Russia will be a guard onto Iran. All right, so we can see all this happening and all this ensuing right now, okay? So World War III is taking place and Russia is going to spearhead this. And all we need is a spark. And we see the spark happening right here tonight. Call Holo Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. This is a huge prophecy that's taking place. Okay, as we know that Iran and Russia, they go back. All right, they have a treaty. All right, that goes back to 1803, okay, which is the Russo-Persian War. All right. And even when Russia went into Ukraine, Iran was one of the first countries to what? Give Russian drones. All right. To deal with that situation with Ukraine. So they've always had this treaty between one another. All right. We know in the scriptures, when you have the understanding, Iran and Russia is nothing more than the Medo-Persian Empire all over again. All right, but that's a whole nother lesson. I have lessons on that on my channel, and plenty other brothers do. So this is a wonderful time to be alive here right now. Okay, World War III is happening and things are taking place on a rampant level. Okay, one of the last precepts I'm going to grab here is Joel 3:2. And I will also gather all of the nations and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right, Saudi Arabia, where we just met. A land barren and desolate, right? We just read it. And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, right? And parted my land, right? So there have been two nations that have been in the homeland, all right? And neither one of them belong there or are origins of that land. All right, so the Lord is getting ready to make known not only who his true chosen people are, but he's also going to bring forth his anger and his wrath, all right, for not only what has been done to his people, but what has been done to the land. They have utterly defiled that land there, okay? It is Pink City there, right? This is the Holy Land, right? It is the new Mo capital of the world, okay? So they have utterly destroyed this place. That's why Jeremiah says that he will make its habitation desolate with them, all right? Because the first death in the scriptures was the flood, all right? And what is water? Water is a purifying agent, but so is fire, right? So that's what's getting ready to happen, okay? America and Israel is going to be pelted with ICBM missiles. Israel will be rebuilt because that is the Lord's favorite land. You can read about that in the second Esdras, I believe, the 6th chapter, all right? But America will not be, all right? This place has been set up for an altar and it will be destroyed. Biden has no choice. You cannot resist the will of the Lord. Okay, he knows going into this retaliation with Israel is going to bring about World War III, but he's not going to be able to resist it. All right, so again, call Holo Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, as the scripture says, for the elect's sake, time will be shortened. So rejoice, brothers, and you few sisters that tune in. We're almost home. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. I'm the brother Yazraala, GMS Dallas Camp, Ababa Ball. Shalom.